Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Counselor's Office. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. Scholars, we're back. I've tried to make this video 6 times, but I'm in the middle of a Twitter war because, I'm making people mad and angry, and I don't give a shiitake because it makes for good content, and I think I'm overall correct. Let me just preface that this video has, this change has no impact on me except for one little detail, right? I'm going to go for my day one. I always go day ones. Still going to happen. Go for the contest, get the emblem. And then the next 2 days I can go, or not the next 2 days, but I can right off the rip do the next 2 characters and whenever that's available. And then just chill for the rest of the week until reset. And it sounds fantastic to me. What am I talking about? Well, let's talk about why content creators and what top 1%ers are crashing out. DMG. There was a change in this week in Destiny where they're essentially, once the world's first is done, the first person, the only thing that actually matters, the people who get the belt are crowned the winners. Normal mode will be unlocked. So other people who normally don't engage with contest mode will now be able to engage with it. There's a lot of discussion. So here we go. Watching the feedback on raid info, normal difficulty going live post contest completion. General thoughts below. Folks have always been able to watch guides for contest raids or dungeons during or after World's First completion to know encounters and strategies before diving in. We also have been opening up normal difficulty for dungeons after contest completion and seeing some great excitement and enjoyment. First point. I've made this point in the past, especially about the 24-hour mark where people are like, man, the emblem isn't worth it after 2 days. Like, you can't, like, literally after people start finishing it, guides are out, people know it's not even about whether people know how the mechanic works. It's whether people are, one, have a good team or have the damage, because sometimes it's a damage check, which has nothing to do with like knowing per se. It has to do, does your team composition have enough damage? Do you have the builds? Is your build good enough to handle it? Which is something that a quick guide or like normal mode's not going to change. Like normal mode's not going to, doing normal mode is not going to change how people do a damage check because it's apples and oranges, because you're power capped. You're not going to be able to test to see like, what melts in normal is not going to melt exactly in like contest mode. So this is very true. There's always builds not builds, but like videos and guides for each encounter. Like people specifically they don't even try to go as world's first. Content creators focus on just making money out of the guides that they put out like immediately. So, and yes, there's the argument of there's misinformation. Yes, like a good one is about like 8TP and some other content creators were talking about the lock set for Thunder Doctrine, and a lot of people were confused about which pattern to put in. But at the end of the day, people weren't dying because of that. They're dying because they didn't have damage checks or they just couldn't survive, which was a big thing, is they couldn't do enough damage within 3 rotations. And that is what I'm talking about. Is like, that's not going to change because someone did normal. It's not going to change the alternative. Especially once people figure out strategies. While normal difficulty will be given some hands-on time, there's still a 48 time crunch to understand and master encounters, and then increase the difficulty and remaster said encounters. The difficulty in execution is still there. Again, just because you are able to do normal mode does not mean that you're going to be able to translate that into contest mode. It's apples and oranges. The difficulty in execution is still there. Yes, you still have to be able to do contest mode. Not everyone can do this. Not everyone can do contest mode, but opening up normal allows people to actually jump in while it's exciting. It's raid day. It's a new raid. People want to play the content they paid for, which I think is always a good thing. I think the race is important. I think the race only matters because of the belt, and that's it. I think everything else, people paid real money for the ability to have to play what they paid for. It's not fair for one person to be able to play and everyone else has to wait out multiple days. I think it's great that you give the time that it needs for raids first, and then after that, contest over, everyone can participate. That's great. I think after that, the value goes down the drain because some you know, grumpy nerd who lives in their mom's basement is like, I want to be the top 100, even though that will never apply to applications. It'll never get you laid. It will never get you noticed. It will have no real pedigree at all unless you're trying so desperately to become a Destiny content creator, streamer. Like, that is probably one of the most niche situations like ever. But should Bungie cater to that? Fuck no. Fuck your noise. What? No, it's a video game. They're a business. No, they should not be catering to wannabe content creators. Like, I have my moments of entitlement, but damn. No. What? The difficulty in execution. Yeah, I feel some immediate comments are seeking to delegitimize clears because they can even happen. I would ask folks to learn more, to lean more to community building. It's funny. I think this is a perfect example of how toxic the Destiny community is, because you have content creators in the top percent, the veterans, who are shitting on this. But they're essentially saying, hey, we're trying to make this more available to the community. We're trying to build like community. And I love people coming to defense of people like Milo and all these about people who are shitting on them. Like, oh, we need to be more of a community. But the moment that we do things that benefits the larger community, no, we can't do that. That's not fair. No. I want my digital number so I can suck myself off. By the way, there's people out there who do it for self-triumph, and that's all you care about. I'm not shading on you, because 9 out of 10 times you don't give a shit that normal's open, because you're just going to do you, right? Like, I'm going to do me. You're probably doing you. So not most people who are coming into who are part of the channel who's like, hey, I do that. You're not going to give a shit. These are these sweaty, fat nerds who have no life, who spend the entire time just trying to get a digital number so that they can circle jerk themselves in some small Discord of other people who circle jerk themselves to have some kind of meaning in life, because apparently there's nothing else in life that has value to them. And it's not even like, you can't be like, oh, it's like sports. No, bitch. In sports, you either get the trophy or you don't. You're the winner or you're a loser. And the same thing with the raid race. You either get the belt or you don't. You're first or you're last. That's how I see it. I would ask folks to lean more into community celebratory vibes to bring people in and inspire them to take on the challenge rather than tear folks down and push them out before an activity. It is crazy. This is one of the rare times that I absolutely agree with DMG. It is insane that we are in like some La La Land universals. It is crazy. Like, we're just some kind of paradox. Like, am I sane here? Like, it is insane. I actually agree with DMG. Feels better to grow your raiding community and help other get folks in more in-game content rather than telling them they're not good enough to even think about trying. So normal difficulty isn't allowed until 48 hours of contests are up. Sure, some may fail at completing contests even after completing normal, but we hope it can be a moment of inspiration for future attempts. Try normal. They might like, okay, I think I can do this. And they take on it. I think that's fair, because you're going to get more people in the doorway that way. But of course, people don't want to think what's best for like, and it's funny because people are so worried about like my number. Who gives a shit about your number when this number is ass? Who gives a shit about your number when this number is ass? Bungie's actually taking the smart approach of trying to get more people involved so they feel like they're getting their money's worth and that they actually have an attempt to participate, because nothing pisses people off, especially people who are buying content and usually don't get involved, is that, hey, you have to stay outside the gate. You can't be in because we need to get our digital numbers. So we're not actually going for a belt. We didn't win it. but we need digital numbers that have no impact in life whatsoever. Like, I'm talking about video games have no impact. That's true. It's a hobby. But when people like literally go out of their way to try to diminish, like not let other people play something, like it's a difference of criticizing that something's not running well, or that it's available. That it's one thing to criticize, oh, I don't like the portal because it's soft setting 90% of the content. However, you can still play, you can still touch the game. It's not like real sunsetting. Whereas this is a situation where they can't just go play because they may not be able to do contest mode. So you're essentially telling them just wait 2 days to actually play the content. And they still have to wait, right? They still have to do raids first. That still has to go on. So it's not like, oh, we're immediately making it available. It's still that the fact that people are going to have to take the time to get through it in the first place. I understand prestige is important for high-end content. The team is still striving to provide an experience that requires skill, teamwork, and mastery to overcome. Folks will still need to learn that completion and the 48-hour time limit. Exactly. It's still a thing you have to do. This will be the first time we do this for Raid. We're excited for it. We need to shift in the future. We will, but we're confident the current plan and very much excited for July 19th. Much love, folks. What this means is they're doing it. It's happening. So let's go. I've been having some moments, so let's see. So Raidhub posted this. Just so we're clear, normal mode during the concept mode will not qualify for placements. Guys, if you do normal modes, you will not get placements. Trust me. We'll get to that in a minute. By the way, this guy's been hunting me down. Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I just poked the bear and the bear's angry, but pretty much 99% doesn't care. They don't. They really, really, truly don't. I finally got him to settle down, though. Everyone's arguing about normal mode going live right after World's First is achieved. Meanwhile, I'm afraid the real reason this is happening is because the new raid will be Rue Nightmare 2.0 and beaten so fast that people will be mad to wait 2 days to play normal mode. Oh. Part of me also thinks that they say that they're not cutting content for the epic raid, but we'll wait to see. We'll wait to see that. The entire difficulty of content is having to figure out and execute mechanics under light. This completely removes that by incentivizing waiting until World's First, running a normal with your friend, then doing contests. This change is awful. I think Piggy, that's funny. You have someone's name named Piggy, and it makes complete sense. Anyways, this is intellectually dishonest, because here's the thing. People who want the true contest experience and want to challenge themselves will do it. People who feel like they will never achieve, sure, they'll go do normal mode and then they'll do contest. I think that's fine. I think that's fine, because you still, even if you learn the mechanics, you still have to do it under level. Like this is still not changing, and because we're still going to have guides, right? You're still going to have the guides to figure it out. People are still going to have to figure it out. It's not like, oh, once normal's unlocked, if there's no guides out, they're still going in blind trying to figure it out. It's no different than doing it under light. The only difference is damage checks, which will still be there when you go back. We have Glad. My other suggestion, normal mode unlocks for you when you complete the contest on your account. That way folks can clear first, then go ahead and have fun in normal after. This retains, I think this is a shitty idea. I think that's just a really, really shitty idea, because the whole fucking point is for people to be able to play it. Like, if they can't do contest mode, then they can't do normal. Like, Glad, what the fuck are you on? Lay off the weed. Post World's First. Anyone who enters the raid on normal should be disqualified from obtaining the contest mode and guaranteed exotic. I agree with this. I wholeheartedly agree with this. That way, people who want to do normal mode can still do normal mode. And if you want to challenge yourself, you could still do contest mode. You just won't get the emblem or the exotic. I would be okay with that because the whole point is getting other people to let them play the raid. Again, I'm going to be doing contest mode anyways. So I'll get my emblem and exotic. Hopefully it's juicy. But then I can go and play normal mode. Like I Astrocross he's in the right mind. He's like, hey, how do we make both sides happy? Except for the 1%. You know, it would make the one. And here's the thing. The raid people that keep up their digital number, like to jerk themselves off, they can literally look to see who's done a normal mode first and then disqualify the people who go in and do contest mode. Enough said. If you're so desperate to keep your placement and your number to circle jerk yourself off, it's up to whoever tracks the raid data. They can easily see if you've done a normal completion first. Okay, you're disqualified. It's so easy. It's so easy. It's so easy. Like, that is the simplest change for people who want to chugga their nuts off about placement. These websites that are going to help you chugga your nuts off, they just need to disqualify everyone who has a normal check mark. Bingo. There you go. You're welcome. There's my feedback. There's my insight. There's my how to help you feel better about yourselves. There you go. But yeah, a lot of people upset. Agreed. A lot of people upset about this. What reason could people have to be mad about this? Because they gotta circle jerk themselves. I find this very disingenuous. 2402 likely wouldn't be nearly as big of a meme if the raid got way easier when Redeem finished Last Wish. That community moment happened purely because everyone was locked in watching contest equivalent content, especially and incredibly. You know what's funny? People who weren't going to raid anyways will still have that experience. It's not like that's ever going to change, by the way. But people who are forced to have to watch, who would like to do the raid, will actually do the raid. See, here's the thing that no one wants to talk about with these is that content creators make bank. And it's been, like, I think even Dato's mentioned it, and many content creators have mentioned that raid day is the most lucrative moment of their life, which is why I posted. Let's be honest, most content creators getting upset because instead of people watching them and building up their bank account, people will actually be going in and playing the raid who normally would have to wait to do that. I absolutely do agree that a lot of content creators are upset because that's pulling away views from them. If people are playing the raid, they're not watching the raid. And if they're not watching the raid, they're not making bank. And I think Scaro pointed out a perfectly good point that he was talking about, oh, well, that would have never happened. It would still happen because people are still going to watch regardless. It's not like, oh, people who felt forced to the sidelines now have the opportunity to participate and be part of the community when they normally wouldn't be able to. Now they can actually have fun and do that. Like, this is a net positive. It's just content creators and top 1%ers want to make this a negative thing. This is an overall benefit to the community. Don't let them deceive you. Numbers don't lie. Letting people participate and get involved is great. But yeah, I also said, sorry, in the 1% community who care about the egoing positioning, I had to block this guy because he was just spamming another here. Like, he was just spamming. I suspect it's also because it means that other content creators would beat them to get out guides, which have been pushed out faster and faster and often with more and more errors. Yeah, but most information is generally accurate. I think the lock set from Sunder Doctrine was a good example of mixed information. I can tell you now, most people didn't get past that because they struggle with damage or they just couldn't coordinate as a team. I watch your videos and I agree on most things, but no, your take here is wrong. Most of the high-end community live for this, and giving access to normal way earlier is just bad for so many reasons. It's just 2 silly days. Wait out like wait a whole year for a new raid, which I've just given you a way that you fix that problem. You're worried about your number. The raid website can literally disqualify people based on the fact that, and I guarantee they will, and they probably have the information to do it. Like, let's be honest, people circle jerk way too much for them not to do that. Sorry, but as someone who does day ones, I'll still be doing day one. It's incredibly stupid to focus on 1% of the community, especially when the game population is already at its lowest it's ever been. It's far better for the people to get excited for the raid race than jump straight into the activity. I guarantee the amount of people impacted in the 1% minimal compared to the overall bottom who'd enjoy normal right after the rip, like after the world's first. Again, we are talking about a weekend activity where most people who could do a normal raid are off. It's silly to cater to the bare minimum amount of people when it only impacts people who want to ego positioning the raid that 98% of the community will never care about except for first place. And boy, did I piss some people off. It's the one thing we get every year. There's no hard content while everything is being dumbed down so everyone can clear. Waiting 2 days while we wait a year won't be that bad as people make it. But it's not about that. It's about feeling entitled on doing it fast and saying, this is no longer true. We literally are getting ultimate mode in an epic raid. You would be 100% correct past tense. But the president is actually changing. This is completely wrong. You will still have hard content and probably even harder. Also, they said the same thing of GMs and master raids. And guess what? They are mid difficulty, let's say. Master raids were never hard, and that's reality. We literally have seen a modifiers. You are wrong. You can't change reality. There's literally a master mode, a grandmaster mode, and now now ultimate mode with the ability to crank up the difficulties with modifiers. They have shown us this. It's not some imaginary idea concept. You are wrong. This is not mid difficulty activities that we have now because we don't have ultimate mode, nor do we have the ability to add modifiers to make things harder. You're delusional if you think contest mode is that special when it's literally just a power cap and a few other modifiers that we most likely will be able to accomplish with the new tier system. Bungie is literally putting all these challenges in the game to make the game harder, and it's going to be however hard you want to get tier 5. I know that, but I'm saying it doesn't make it hard. It just makes it harder than the current GMs, and current GMs are a joke, and also will be ultimate. You are basing this on literally zero information, zero facts. You are literally stating your opinion based on pure emotional reaction. Contest mode is nothing special. It's a power cap, which you will have in the tier system. You will have modifiers just like contest mode. Again, you can't say it's close to contest at all. You want that, but that's not the case. Doing a 100-meter run in a difficult and new terrain is way harder than doing it on one you're familiar with. But you haven't done modifiers. That's the thing about this. You haven't experienced any of the modifiers. You haven't experienced any of the challenges. You don't even know I don't even know what all the modifiers are. How can you say that it's not new terrain? How can you say that? No, it's not. Let's not put into words in people's mouths. Sorry. And the 1%. Yeah. No, people's mouths. Let the 1%. Let me put it in your mouth. This is a shit take. More than 1% of the community participates in day ones. We wait an entire for this event and have to be cheapened in this way. It's pretty disgusting. A lot of streamers and players get recognition from this event. No, they don't. And do this to do this to me is a slap in the face. Okay, buddy. Whatever helps you sleep at night. I'm telling you, this is probably the most loser level activity. If your life, if this is, and I fully admit, I play video games for a hobby, and I even shit on and criticize Bungie, but I criticize Bungie on the product that they're trying to sell me. Like, I'm spending money. You are not losing anything financially. You are literally paying and playing the game. You're just upset because you don't have a digital number to stroke yourself. Like, I don't have, like, my value in life is so low that it is attached to a video game number. That's how low and pathetic this is. And I don't care if I piss people off. I hope I do. I hope you know you're a loser. Now, can you be excited? Like, I get the day one emblem. I feel excited for myself. I accomplished something, but I'm not out here stroking my ego saying, oh my God, I can't believe so many people got day one emblems. Oh my God, why can't you do this to me? Like, brother, I was more upset with Rude Nightmares because it was too easy, not because they made a normal mode. I'm sorry. Like, there's a difference from feeling excited and having, accomplishment for doing something challenging. And then there's this entitlement to feel this, I don't know, like, look at me, this is my number. Like, Like, again, if you're not first, you're last. Like, sure, people get excited for second and third place in like sports or Olympics, but let's be honest. Most people are looking at the person that got first place. Most people give a shit about that guy, not the last place or the people that didn't make it. It is crazy. And I made a lot of people mad. I made them mad. Let's see. You're just a dumbass take after dumbass take. Holy crap. You know what game doesn't pander 99%? Old school RuneScape. You know what game is more popular and loved by the community? Old school RuneScape. There's a time and place to cater to 99. Sorry, but only 1% will be impacted by this. You can still do contest mode, but no one gives a shit about your placement if it's not first place. Now go cry in the basement because Bungie is stubborn and won't change this, which is true. As someone who has dealt with Bungie and I continue to criticize them and I continue to preach, you can sit right here and cry on my shoulder because I understand. You want to criticize Bungie? Cry on my shoulder because honestly, I've been criticizing them too. We can cry together because they're not fixing the game and they're not giving us value and they're screwing you over, right? We can cry together, okay? But overall, this is a benefit to the wider community. And people are just trying so hard to justify this. Oh yeah, let me go scroll up. This is beautiful. It continues on. It's like having someone compare their cat. Here we go. See, now, God dang it. See, now you're moving the goalpost. How do you know anxiety won't exist with the new tier system? You don't. How do you know, depending on the modifiers, there won't be DPS checks? Again, you said specifically by your own words, there's no hard content. Well, everything has been dumbed down so everyone can clear, but you can use modifiers in ultimate mode to make things a challenge and harder whenever you want. You don't know how each modifier might change an encounter, which is true. We don't. It's like having someone compare their chat GPT earned degree next to yours and saying you are equal. I bet you wouldn't feel as nice, but most people have cheated and gotten degrees. Still, it doesn't make it right. There's a stark difference from a degree and a digital number that has no value. That won't get you laid, won't get your job, nor will anyone in the Destiny community actually care about. Try again. It is crazy that we are trying to do mental gymnastics. Guys, my digital number on a video game is the same as someone using a chat GPT to get a degree, to get a degree, you have to pay money and you have to spend years learning, getting an education in order to get a job, which gets you financial benefits, which this will get you none. Your number will not get you one. Oh, and just as some shade to make my point, you don't even have day one Crota. You have Rude and Nightmares. You don't have King Fall. Like, this is the last person you should ever be listening to. It's the same people that bitch about stuff, and they're not even there. Like, bro, you didn't even get day one Salvation's Edge. Why are you out here talking about... Who cares about you not getting your degree? You're not even getting into school door. Were you with that? It's a fair example. It comes down to what you personally value. It is exaggerated, certainly, but it's an example. Let's say a position that in the company has no salary rise and just gives a title. Many people kill for that. Same case here. Certainly, but it's like saying a position in a company that has no salary raise and just gives a title. Many people will kill for that. No, what the f... Yes. How many of you guys would like a title change, but you're not going to get a salary? You are now, because I don't know if this person knows. I don't know if this person knows. And here's me. Usually when you get a title change, you either have less work or you have more work to do. Most likely, if you're not getting a pay raise, you're probably getting more work to do. So I want to know what drugs this person's on. By the way, talking about drugs, I don't think I'd ever make an argument based on something that has zero value. That's like comparing meth, which people have personal value for, which shouldn't, and some gold medal for Olympics. Again, extreme example, but the second one is on point. Okay. Yeah, your opinion no longer matters. The moment you try to be intellectually dishonest and try to spin such a delusional argument, such a meth being. He said, yes, it definitely is. Like, bro, just admit you're selfish and move on. No need to keep punching the wall on something that isn't going to change. You mentioned the meth analogy. Yes, and I corrected. I said, no, your analogy was not valid as you compared something that has actual inherent value, a degree, versus the title. I'm not even going to continue this argument because I'm just going to do it in this video. I've already debunked the title analogy because no one in their fucking right mind is going to take a title change or be excited for a title change if in a job or a company, if it doesn't have monetary value. This is called intellectual dishonesty. Again, these people are punching the walls. These incels are punching the walls and they're not making any sense. Then we have Raidhub. The raid race event is not over when the first team clears and earns the belt. Please give some time or grace period between the first completion and the opening on normal mode. Deactivating contests too early can and will ruin this event. DMG's like, for the sake of feedback, looking for more detail. What do you mean by ruin? Did you see dungeon contest modes negatively impacted by normal mode going live after World's First? Would you consider a grace period? By the way, let's hold on to this argument. That's a fair point. A grace period in this case could take many forms. It could be waiting 6 hours after winners are declared, waiting until 100 teams have cleared, or even just waiting until 24 hours, a chance to allow teams competing in the event to work through contest mode. The raid race scene has grown so large over the past few years. I don't think it has. Many teams commit to weekly practice to have a chance to take home the belt, or more relevant to this, place on high leaderboards. The race should be played on the hardest difficulty, which they probably still will be. Opening normal mode up early adds an entirely new variable into that. Teams can gain information extremely easy or practice strategies. Using a grace period allows the race to conclude before listen, 9 out of 10 times, if you're stopping what you're doing, you're losing traction. Teams that would have been in the top 10 would lose their place to people trying to do normal mode. Can gain information extremely easily. You already are their scouts already. We know they're scouts, people scouting for raids. Using a grace period to allow them to race to conclude before easing the difficulty. An important distinction to make between dungeon raids is scale and legacy. Raid racing has been the pinnacle events, 1 to 2 days per year for many Destiny players. Dungeon contests, many players. It's going to be many more now. It's going to be many more now because more people are going to be able to participate in raids. Dungeon contests races were brand new and as such did not have legacy to maintain. In particular, Sunder Doctrine was not impacted very much by these changes because quite frankly, the dungeon wasn't very hard. Okay, moving the goalpost, huh? We're moving the goalpost. The final boss wasn't hard, but a lot of people got damage checked at lock set. Invest for hundreds of teams cleared normal mode before 100 teams cleared contest mode. Your point is that's a good thing. I think you're making his point that more people were able to play the dungeon. That's a good thing. That is a good thing. Contest rating is an event which players from all parts of the community come together to tackle something hard. Sometimes it's okay not to have the easiest option available right away if it allows for the thrill of the race and community even to thrive. Funny how you mentioned how all players from all parts of the community come together to tackle something hard. That won't actually be changing like at all. In fact, making normal open will allow more people to get involved. It's a quality versus quantity argument. Players who only play normal mode will likely have a less memorable experience and won't build those core memories from contest rating that so many have come to love. Most recently, Mr. Waffle Waffles. I'd counter this argument with that people who would already be engaged in contest mode will be doing so. So those memorable experiences won't be diminished. Meanwhile, those who sit stuck in the sidelines, who either have attempted and failed or do not feel capable at the level contest mode to attempt it, and therefore weren't going to engage at all, it wouldn't make memories anyways, those people will now have the opportunity to jump in to the normal mode, blind or known, and achieve the same level of excitement and memories with a challenge of tackling something new and create those memories within a more tangible zone. Bam! And that's where I'm going to end that video. I don't give a shit that your arguments are ass. They're shit. They're garbage. They lack intellectual honesty. This is all just a circle jerk. That's all it is. Content creators making bank, and then the other is a circle jerk. That's it. That's all it is. The people are mad are the people circle jerking and content creators that want to make the bank. This benefits everyone. In fact, people who normally wouldn't be able to participate, congratulations, you get to participate. And we get to reap the rewards. And I say we because as soon as I'm done, instead of waiting till Tuesday to run the raid again, I can do normal on the other two characters and get all the more chances of getting, well, if I do day one, I'll get the exotic, but I'll get the chance of getting the new weapons, which I'm hoping are good. But that's just my final thought. At this point, I'm washing my hands of this argument because people are wrong. 98% of the community does not give a shit about placement unless you're first place. In fact, if you're not first, you're last. And that's it. This is it. This is for you. If you're not first, you're last. This is the thumbnail. This is my thumbnail. There he is. And if you're pissed off, know that I don't care. And know that you can come and cry on my shoulder. Knowing that your crying isn't going to change anything. Trust me. Now, should you stop criticizing Bungie? Come here. Come here. If you are fully committed to this, no. Don't stop criticizing Bungie. Tag them. Comment on their stuff. Tell them how you feel. Say, hey, I don't believe this. This is, give your opinion. I'm never going to tell people not to give their opinion because I'm pro your opinion. Even though I think this benefits the wider gamer audience, you're still entitled to your opinion. Even if I think you're wrong, you're entitled to your opinion and you should be able to criticize Bungie like I criticize Bungie, right? If you made it to the end and you see people shit on me for shitting on them and just point them this direction. You can still have your opinion. You should still criticize Bungie. I'm not telling you not to. I'm not telling you to sit there and take it like a bitch. You have a right. You did pay money for it. I disagree with you. The community disagrees with you. I think this is a net positive, but you still have a right to criticize it, right? You still have a right to call out Bungie. I don't support you, but I support your right to criticize Bungie because I'm always going to do it. And that would be very hypocritical of me not to encourage you to continue to call out Bungie. Now, criticizing me isn't going to change shit. And you're not going to change my opinion. You're just going to look like a jackass that I'm going to farm for views, pretty much, right? I'm going to farm you later. But I'm going to encourage you to continue to criticize Bungie and call them out and make videos calling them out saying, hey, I don't like this. This is why X, Y, and Z. Put it out there. Boom. There you go. Maybe this is your time to become a YouTuber to fight the good fight for the top 1%. You do you. Go on Reddit. Say, hey, Bungie, don't do this. Twitter, don't do this. YouTube, don't do this. Go for it. Please be sure to you see people tag them with this so they can watch this. Hey, I'm not discouraging you and telling you to take it, lie it down. I still think it's going to happen because I know Bungie, they're still going to do it, but there's a good chance that they might listen to Renegades or whatever. Yeah. Whatever the next thing is. Right. But maybe from a year from now, but should that mean you should take it lying down like a doormat? No, I don't agree with you, but I don't think you should take it like a doormat. You should fight the good fight to the very end. You may not have a lot of people defending you, but you still have a right to your opinion. I will stand by that. No matter if I disagree with it or not, you're still a gamer. You have a gamer approach. I may make fun of you. I may disagree with you, but I will never tell you not to put your voice out there. That's it. That's all I got to say. See ya.